What is up, guys? Roger here with Vantage Realty and Home Loans. Sorry if my energy is a little low today. I just had hernia surgery a week ago. First video back, but let's dive right into it. So much to cover. This week, the Consumer Price Index came out. Highest inflation in 40 years. So we're going to look at what items are being affected the most, how it affects real estate, mortgages, and just regular households, and a little update on the Russia-Ukraine war, how that's affecting things, and if you're a real estate owner or looking to buy, how that's going to affect you. So let's just get right into it. If we look at this article here on the Wall Street Journal, U.S. inflation accelerated to 8.5% in March, hitting a 4-decade high. This is crazy. Most of it because of the stimulus checks. Let's just be honest. So that's kind of how we ended up here. So let's look at some details. Okay, so all items here. We look here, 8.5%. Food has gone up 8.8%. Food at home, 10%. Energy is up 32%, and gas 48% here. 48% rise in gas prices, which is insane. Those of you who buy your Teslas, you guys are laughing at everybody else right now as we're paying a crap load more money for gas these days. So new vehicles are up 12%, used vehicles up 35%. So yours truly himself got effed on this one because I just bought a used car and probably overpaid. So this all really, really sucks. I mean, my heart goes out to the people who are on a fixed income, so if you're on Social Security, you're on retirement, even if you're a salaried employee, you're average American making 40, 50 grand, and now you got to pay 50% more for gas. Food is up 10%. If you need to buy a car, 35% for used car prices have gone up. That's where, I really feel for those people. So that's that. So here's what's going to happen. The Fed is raising rates. They raise rates to curb inflation. If you've watched any of our last videos, me and Norv's not here right now, but if you watched any of our previous videos, the reason the Fed raises rates is to curb inflation. Okay, so they're accelerating how fast they're going to raise rates. And a little insider tip, last month, the Fed announced they're going to raise rates 0.5% in May instead of the regular 0.25%. Now, what you got to keep in mind if you're in real estate, if you're looking to buy real estate, you're looking to refinance, a little insider tip I'm going to give you, when the Fed announces we're going to accelerate raising rates in May, the banks are not going to wait till May to offer, to price in that 0.5% when you're getting a mortgage, when you are buying a house. If the Fed announces at the end of March, hey, we're going to raise rates in May, 0.5%, immediately the banks are raising rates on mortgages. Okay, so if you're getting a mortgage today, that 0.5% is already fixed in to the rate that you're being offered by your loan officer, and officially mortgages are over 5%. Okay, so we called it on our last few videos. We're probably going to look at 6 to 7% mortgage rates in the near future. We're already above 5%. Honestly, I feel like I took a nap and I woke up, and before the nap we were at 2.99, and now we're over 5%. So we have to do this. Again, if you have, go back, watch some of the old videos. We have to do this because this is the only way to get inflation down. Here's the good news. If you are looking to buy a house, this is actually a good time. Okay, so here, why do I say that? Why is now a good time when rates are so high? Here's why. Rates increasing is going to disqualify a lot of buyers. It's going to discourage a lot of buyers. So people are going to be like, oh my God, I don't want to pay 5%. I don't want to pay 5.25, 5.375% on a mortgage. If you have bad credit, you're looking at 5.5%. I'm helping someone get a second home, 10% down. He's going to pay 6.5%. But here's why this is good. When you eliminate some of these people, I feel like Kobe, remember when he's like, get the fuck out of my way, I'm going to take it to the hole. You guys remember that? Anyway, the reason this is good is because this is going to eliminate buyers. which means less competition. That's been one of the main issues. Getting your offer accepted has been a nightmare. People are going 50, 100, 200, 300,000 over asking to get their offer accepted because it's so competitive. And it was so competitive because rates were 2.75, 2.99. Okay, so you're eliminating some competition, easier to get your offer accepted. And here's the bright side, guys. These rates going up this high are not going to be a permanent thing. Okay, when the Fed raises rates, inflation comes down. Right now we're at 8.5%, which is insane. Once that inflation comes down, I'm guessing around under 5% inflation. Once we get to between 4 and 5% inflation, one of the side effects is going to be stocks are going to come down. Everyone's predicting a recession. So stocks will, I'm not going to say crash, but they're going to come down. Okay. Once inflation is under 5%, around 4%, stocks come down in price. You're going to have good buying opportunities for stocks. But once stock prices come down, rates will come back down. That is the silver lining here, guys. The silver lining is rates will come back down. Okay, so you buy a house with less competition. You don't have to go over asking. You lock in whatever, 5% rate. It's temporary. Okay, you can refinance and lower your rate. I expect rates to come back down into the 3s in 1 to 2 years. So suck it up, pay the 5%. You're still going to get your mad appreciation. As we know, home values are not slowing down. Still, the homes are still appreciating 10, 15, 20% in certain areas. I'm here in Phoenix. We're seeing 25% appreciation year over year. Okay? Get the home, get the property, ride the appreciation, refinance when rates come back down. Okay? You can thank me later. All right? This is exactly what's happened twice in the past. Again, we've outlined it. Paul Volcker in the 80s, Alan Greenspan in the 90s. Inflation goes through the roof. We raise rates. Inflation comes down. Rates come down. Okay? So again, take it with a grain of salt. Do what you may, but I think right now is actually a better time to buy because you're going to have less competition. I was actually able to secure a client, escrow for a client for a house under asking. Hey, this client was also very savvy. Their family is very savvy in real estate, but how many people have been able to secure a home today in this market or in the last 2 years under asking? Okay, so this is a good opportunity to get in, get your property, refinance in a few months. All right. So anyway, and one other thing that I thought was pretty funny and interesting was this term shrinkflation. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but let's take a quick look on what that is.
This phenomenon is called shrinkflation. It's a strategy that companies use for a variety of reasons. Though PepsiCo says the change to Doritos was part of ongoing product evolution, during this period of high inflation, some companies are using shrinkflation to combat higher production costs so they don't have to raise prices. Here's how to spot shrinkflation and why, as consumers become savvier, companies have had to change how they approach it.
Shrinkflation is when companies are trying to save money because they face higher costs, so they just put less food in the bag or smaller portions on the plate, but they still charge the same amount so that they make more money. Sometimes.
Interesting stuff, huh, guys? So instead of raising their price, they're just putting less chips in the bag or less food on the plate. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. Shrinkflation or snackflation, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys too. Going back to this article on inflation. Okay, so this is what we're seeing here. So the top things, again, used cars. New cars are up 12%. By the way, this war in Ukraine and Russia, it's going to stall some vehicles because in Ukraine is where they make some of the housing for some of the wiring and electrical for Audi, BMW, and Volkswagen. Okay, so if you're looking to buy a Volkswagen, you might have to wait a little bit because they got other stuff going on in Ukraine that they need to deal with. Okay, So give them some time. Another article here on the Wall Street Journal, high inflation is probably costing you $276 a month. Guys, if you're on a fixed income, you make, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 grand a month, and you're on Social Security, $276 is a lot of money. Okay, that's 10% of your income if you're making $2,700 a month and you're living off Social Security. That's huge. Who's feeling the price squeeze the most? Millennials, Latinos, and the middle class. Little undertone of racism here. No, just kidding. I don't know why they say that. Let's go down and take a look and find out why Latinos, they're saying, are feeling it more than others. People. Hispanic or Latino households face inflation of 7%, thanks again to the disproportionately large share of spending on used autos and gasoline. I guess Latinos like to drive more than other people, so they're feeling the effects on gas compared to Asian families with 5.6% inflation who tend to earn more than the average American household. And that's why I married an Asian. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. We're just trying to make some jokes, have some laughs here. That is not why I married an Asian. Although apparently they make more than the average household, which I didn't even know. Let's see why millennials are struggling more than the average person. Millennials. Am I spelling millennials wrong? Yeah, I always spell millennials wrong. Huh, just one, huh? Just one. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, bear with me here, guys. We're going to get there. Do not worry. Okay, let's go back to the Latinos. Okay. Higher earning households spend relatively more on dining out and recreation, which rose less than the overall inflation. Okay. Middle class households were squeezed harder than other groups with prices up 6.7% in December, 0.5% higher. Middle class spend a bigger share of their budget than others on gasoline, which is up 50%. I mean, this is crazy. Gas is up 50%. So millennials, those ages 35 to 44, those are millennials, saw their costs rise 6.9% in 2021, higher than any other age group. Millennials just can't get a break, I guess. Though the average rate for younger age groups was slightly less, those ages 65 and up experienced 5.8% inflation, in large part because of the share of their spending that went towards health care. Yes, this all sucks, guys. This all sucks, but alas, do not worry. This is all going to be temporary. And in inflationary times, you want to be holding real assets, okay? You want to be holding real estate. You want to be holding gold. You want to be holding silver. Bitcoin, we don't know. Okay, so we know stocks are going to go down. That's for sure. And then we're already seeing it, especially tech stocks. But Bitcoin, we'll see what happens with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the first time Bitcoin is experiencing this kind of inflation. We'll see if this is where money flows. If it's coming out of stocks, it's got to go somewhere. It's going to go to bonds. It's going to go to maybe Bitcoin. We'll see. I'm very heavy in Bitcoin. Basically, all of my investments. I have small retirements in index funds. But other than that, all my money, I invest in real estate and I invest in Bitcoin. I got in around 10K. So although I've been investing in Bitcoin since it was at around $2,000 in 2016. Anyway, I got in and got out. But my Bitcoin average position is 10K. So I'm sitting good right now. We'll see. Everyone's saying Bitcoin is going to reach 100,000 this year. It's going to continue its bull run. We're in inflationary time, so we're going to see if that's going to happen or not. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys like my content, please subscribe, hit the bell. So we're going to come out with videos much more often, cover the news, everything real estate, mortgage, finance related. Thank you guys. Have a good night. See you guys next time.